What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel, where today we're speaking about something really special, my Star Wars collection on PlayStation. Now, as you guys know, today is May the 3rd, Friday, May the 3rd, which means tomorrow is May the 4th. So since our day doesn't fall on May the 4th, our video upload day, I decided that while I'm busy with a much bigger project for Star Wars in May, I would just run through my collection of Star Wars goodies on PlayStation. Now, if you know anything about me, you know that I love three things: Star Wars, PlayStation, and Lego. So when things come together perfectly and give you a game like Lego Star Wars or any Star Wars game on PlayStation, you got to know that I'm going to be there for the most part. I have a decent sized collection here. I don't know how many games there are, but I don't have nearly half of them. There are so many games on PlayStation from Star Wars. You'll see that later on in a different video that I'm trying to make for May for Star Wars month. And I'm really excited for that video. But for today, we're just going to be taking a quick run through and a quick look at this. So let's start off with the PlayStation 2. On the PlayStation 2, I have Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, or Lego Star Wars 2, sorry, the original trilogy. I mean, what more can you say about the Lego games? They are almost perfect, or almost all of them are perfect. I love Lego Star Wars, and I'm trying to get all of them. Obviously, I'm trying to get all the Star Wars games on PlayStation, from PS1 all the way to PS5. And yeah, you gotta have the Lego Star Wars games. They're really good, awesome way to play through the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, as well as maybe the sequel trilogy. We don't really have to talk about that. Anyways, moving on, we've got Star Wars Battlefront. This is, I don't want to say cult classic, but everyone loves these games. I might as well speak about them both together: Star Wars Battlefront and Star Wars Battlefront 2. We have recently got the Star Wars Battlefront collection on PlayStation 4 and 5, as well as other modern consoles and PC. However, from what I can tell, they are not running so well at the moment. So I'm putting that on the back burner, and they're quite pricey for re-released games, in my opinion. I think, especially without a physical copy, the 600, 700 Rand price tag is a tough pill to swallow, especially if they're not staying entirely true to the main original games. I know they have changed some of the menu systems and it looks a bit jank and doesn't work as well. So for now, I'll pass on that. Maybe when there's on a sale, I'll jump on it with a bunch of my friends, and that would be really cool. But for now, I'm happy just owning the original 2 on PlayStation 2 and calling it a day there. So moving on to PSP. Now, the PSP is actually where I spend most of my time on Star Wars games, or used to. And starting that off is a game that I finished about 3 times when I was younger. This is Star Wars The Clone Wars Republic Heroes. Now, there's nothing special about this game. I think it's a good way to play through some Clone Wars era stories, but I really like this game. I love playing as clones, hopping on an AT-RT and just running around, destroying droids, maybe hopping on a stap as a Jedi, and then destroying more droids. I think this is a really fun game. Nothing spectacular. The gameplay is a bit outdated. The graphics obviously are on a PSP, so it doesn't look amazing, but I loved this game back in the day, and I would really like to complete it for maybe a 4th time. Now, Star Wars Battlefront spawned so many different fan groups, and one of the bigger 2 fan groups are Star Wars Renegade Squadron and Elite Squadron. Now, these were released on the PSP and never got like a home console release, but people really love these games. As you can see, this one's already got, or still got, its original price tag on of $130. I don't think I paid anywhere near that, but these are really loved games, and I can completely understand why. I remember one of my friends playing through these multiple times on his PSP. I think I played through the majority of each of these. I don't think I've ever completed them, so maybe that's something I have to do sometime. But I know that these games are awesome, and I love them as well, even though I didn't finish them. Moving on to arguably my favorite Lego Star Wars, and that is Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. For me, The Clone Wars is the best bit of Star Wars out there. So when Lego decided to make Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars, this was it. This is my holy grail of Star Wars games. And I haven't even played the console versions. I've just played the PSP versions. I saw some gameplay of the console versions the other day, and I was like, whoa, there's so much more in the console version that's not in the PSP version. I think I really need to get on that. Unfortunately, I don't have a PlayStation 3 yet, still not. So maybe when I get that, that will probably be one of the first games that I play. So Lego Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars is fantastic. Speaking of games that got ported to the PSP, Star Wars The Force Unleashed. I haven't played much of this game because it's not the easiest game to play on PSP, and I actually want to experience the full game properly. I've never played The Force Unleashed or The Force Unleashed 2. I've never completed them, I should say. I've played them on my mate's consoles once or twice, or PC, I can't remember. But I've never actually gone from the beginning to the end of The Force Unleashed 1 and 2. So I really want to do that, but I don't think this is the way to do that. Now, this is Star Wars Lethal Alliance. This is a game that's not too easy to find, but not exactly rare. But this is a portable exclusive. I think it was only released on the PSP and the Nintendo DS. So I've been looking for this for a while. I really want to play it. I was supposed to get a non-platinum copy. It was supposed to be an original copy. However, unfortunately, they didn't have in stock, so they gave me a platinum version. So until I can find a non-platinum version, I will keep my platinum version in the case, and I will play that sometime down the line. Probably not this year. My backlog has increased exponentially, as you guys saw in my last video. Now, moving on to the PS4. And we actually have to start with this game down here. Star Wars Battlefront. So this was a remake, sort of. They redid Star Wars Battlefront. They kind of just used the same name, but it's not exactly the same game at all. This is an online-only game where you do PvP, and it's actually really fun. I enjoyed this game a lot. This was actually the game that my console came with, my PlayStation 4. So my box art has Battlefront on the front, and it looks amazing. I love it. I think it was the perfect combination of PlayStation and Star Wars. So I really love this game. Unfortunately, I don't think it has much of a player base at the moment. I think if we're looking for an active player base, you've got to look at Star Wars Battlefront 2, which released to so much controversy. I even put off buying it right at the beginning, and I think that was the right decision, because once it sort of fixed itself, or EA decided, okay, maybe pay to win isn't the right way to do this, it actually became a really good game, and now there's still active player bases, and I enjoy hopping into massive online battles, especially on Wednesdays and Saturdays, because on Wednesdays you have ×3 XP, and Saturdays, either Saturdays or Sundays, but I think it's Saturdays, has ×2 XP. So that's awesome. I really love Star Wars Battlefront 2. Then we have Star Wars The Force Awakens. This is the deluxe edition, Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens, I should say. And I don't have too much to say about this game. It's not bad, but it just plays through one of the movies. So it feels really odd if you play something like the original trilogy or Lego Star Wars, the first one, where you go through all the trilogy games in the prequels and the sequels. I mean, the prequels and the original trilogy. And then you get this standalone weirdness. And it's not quite like Lego Star Wars, The Clone Wars, or Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. It just feels a bit meh. The systems are great. I mean, this was the start of Lego reinventing their building systems and all of that. So this was really good for that. But other than that, I don't think it's the best Lego Star Wars game. It's probably the lowest ranked. And I mean, even at the lowest ranked, it's still a fantastic game. Lego Star Wars games just don't miss, in my opinion. So that's really good. Now, this is a recent pickup. We picked this up in the last video, in the backlog video, and I've already started playing this. I've actually already beaten Star Wars Racer, and I'm busy on my second playthrough because I wanted the platinum and I kind of messed it up. That was supposed to be a surprise video for you guys tomorrow on May the 4th. However, I managed to mess up one of the only missable trophy in the game. Luckily, it doesn't take too long. It only takes about 2-3 hours to beat. I just don't think I can sit through doing it all over right again. Then we also picked up Star Wars Jedi Knight Collection. These look like interesting games. I don't know anything about them. I'd love to play them at some stage. So yeah, I added them to the collection. Hopefully we get to round them at some stage. Now, Jedi Fallen Order. In my opinion, this is the best Star Wars game I have played. And I know that Jedi Knight Survivor, what is it? Star Wars Jedi Survivor is out, and I don't know how I still haven't played it. I just think the prices are a little bit too high for me at the moment. I think if I do find it at some stage where my backlog is clearing up, I will play that. But I love Jedi Fallen Order, which is surprising because when I initially bought it secondhand and played it, I only lasted about 2 hours and I could not get into the game at all. I did not enjoy it. I was struggling so much. And then I put it down for about 2 months and then tried it again, and everything clicked. The game was fantastic. The combat was amazing. The Soulsborne Souls-like camping system or meditation system where you stop at a meditation circle and you sort of light a bonfire like you would in Dark Souls was amazing. I loved everything about Jedi Fallen Order. I think it was a really great game that every Star Wars fan should play, which means I should probably play Jedi Survivor too. Now, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. This is it. If you want one Lego Star Wars game, this is it. There is over 100 hours of content in this game. You play through all nine movies. It doesn't quite rescue the appalling nature of Star Wars Episode 9, but it still has its Lego charm. So I think even if you don't like the sequel trilogy and you just want to play through the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, I think you'll be fine just playing those. So, in my opinion, I have a very basic Star Wars collection on PlayStation. There are so many games that I don't have, and you guys will be seeing that in a future video. I would love to collect them all, and I think it would be a great collection to have on your PlayStation. The other things that I have is when I bought the Star Wars Deluxe or Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens Deluxe Edition, I got it in a box set. That's why it's all golden, and it came with this little guy. And I also have this amazing shirt and keychain for the launch of Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga that I won in a live Twitch stream that Comic-Con South Africa, were running. So that's amazing. I love Lego Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I love PlayStation. So as you can imagine, all of this together is just amazing to me. Let me know what your Star Wars collection looks like on any system. What is your favorite Star Wars game of all time? And yeah, please like and subscribe and stay tuned for what is going to be probably my biggest video project coming sometime throughout May. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I hope you have a fantastic day further.